So given dirt, D equals RT, D is distance, R is rate, and T is time. This is common enough of a formula, but just to specify, I like to see this written out with the actual words. So it says D, that's distance, equals the R, which is the rate. Now it's rate RT. That means we would be expecting the rate multiplied by the time. Okay, so I've just written that out in the words that was given, just so we know if they give us one of these values, which one to expect. So I started working on it before I read the whole thing. See the mistake again. Let's find out if we even need that. So if your friend drives to Moab from your home near Salt Lake City, to Moab, okay, which is about 216 miles, and says it took about 3 hours. Now, we're not worried about the about part. We're just going to say it took exactly 3 hours so that we're not overcomplicating this. But if you'd like to, you're welcome to. I'm just not going to do it. Find how fast your friend would have been going. Now, when it says anything about fast or speed, that is a rate. Now, we haven't gone over rates, which we're seeing a rate right here. Rates generally compare two things at the same time: miles per hour, dollars per hour, dollars per month. I don't know, some kind of rate where you're comparing two things. In this case, we are comparing miles and hours, but we don't know what the exact speed is. So for us, and I'll use the same letter there, but the R is the value we don't know. Now, I put that in first. It's possible if I would have read the rest of that, right? How fast your friend would have been going. But if you don't understand that the R is the unknown in this case, look at the values that they did give us. For example, up here they say it's going to be 216 miles right there. Okay, well, miles is a distance, so that means you would know to put it in this formula as a distance. I don't really need the label, but the other value that they gave us is time in 3 hours, right? So again, hours, I mean, it does take some knowledge knowing hours is time and miles is distance, but the time is definitely going to be 3 hours. So 216 equals, again, now we know that the rate is the value that we don't know. The rate times the time, 3. Now, if you feel more comfortable writing this out as 216 equals, instead of R times 3, you could make it just 3R. But the truth is you don't necessarily have to do that, because remember our principles of equality. We are solving for R here. And so we're at the point where we're at a one-step equation. One principle of equality to solve this. So if you were to see this multiplication, we should know that we are trying to make a 1, because multiplication and division is how we make 1s. So I would say this principle of equality right here, I would want 1R. And some people would say, oh, there's a phantom 1 there. That's true, but it's actually being multiplied by 3. This 3 is the coefficient. It's just on the wrong side. So again, if you like to write it like this, then you're welcome to do that. But at this point, I would say that 3, I'm going to show it differently. I'm going to show the division with a fraction line. And then, well, I guess I'll show it with the fraction line over here as well. So now, in order to figure out the rate, which is going to be in miles per hour, there's 216 miles for 3 hours. What we want is a unit rate for 1 hour, which is why we're going to divide these. So I'm going to do the division over here. 216 divided by the 3. Okay, 3 won't go into 2, but it will go into 21 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. So that's going to zero that out, drop the 6. 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6, nothing remaining. So our quotient there, that's a 0, by the way, not a decimal. 72. Now, going from Moab to Salt Lake City, is that fast? I mean, not on the freeway, but if you go through Price, I'd say that's kind of faster through those roads. Maybe you get a ticket, but if your friend did in 3 hours, probably didn't get a ticket either. Now, the answer is not 72, though. So the answer is not 72 because this is a word problem. We need a label to go with the 72. Well, remember, it was 216, it was miles, so that'd be 72 miles. And then we would make it per, I'm going to show it as a fraction there, but per hour. I don't know, maybe 72 mph would be better. And miles per hour, whatever. It's all the same thing.